Up, people? Okay, so this is just going to be a quick little live. Next in line, got to get a wash. And first, I have to say a couple things. My video yesterday was, let's just say, quarantined. It was held up, and I get why. And even if they had completely banned it, I would not have gotten mad. So, for the powers that be, I'm going to say this, or to the powers that be. If you ever need to shut down my mess because of anything about national security or anything else, knock yourself out. I'm not going to shed one crocodile tear over it. You are the people I want to hear what I'm saying. As long as you reviewed it, that meant you watched it. Okay? I don't care if you go back and shut the other one down now. This is where I'm at on this, though. Okay? I'm also telling people about any type of a public threat that I see. You see something, say something. Well, nobody else is letting it out. So if it's some type of a threat to physical harm of a person by means of a fire or a accident that might hold people up in traffic, or a contagious pathogen, disease, anything, or a war breaking out in their area, I'm going to let people know about it so they can get to safety. This has absolutely nothing to do about ego, bravado, grandstanding, or anything else. I could care less. So if I ever say anything, okay, that needs to be cut or reviewed, knock yourself out. You are the target audience. People who can do something about this, who need to know this intel, who do not have ability to get it, evidently. Okay, I'll run recon. You got this. Take my stuff and move forward. Now, having said that, you got more intel you need to learn about. This is what you need to know. There is a dead hand system that Russia invented way back in the 80s that's running off a cheap, stupid, similar to DOS computer program that says if it sniffs out a greater than background level of radiation in Russia, automatically their missiles will be shot off as if there was a nuclear war, and they think that everyone in control or command and power of the nuclear silos that they have are now defunct and gone, and it's an automatic launch system. Somebody needs to get, before Fukushima style happens to the two plants like Chernobyl and the one in Zaporizhia, before they go up Fukushima style, someone needs to hold some type of talks or an emergency convening of all of the UN nations, but also all the, like whatever kind of summit you can hold that would include Russia, and talk them into turning off their dead hand mirror system. Because if the plant in Zaporizhia goes off and you got 6 reactors, okay, that pop off with hydrogen, and you got however many casks that pop off, right? Basically, that's going to trick their system into launching their missiles. It would be wise now, because they're going to use they're going to say that it's not their fault, and they're going to go for like some kind of qualified immunity, or they're going to say it's what is it when a president doesn't know about something, so he's able to claim immune to prosecution because he had no prior knowledge of the event. What's that called? Dang, I hate it when I can't remember this. Plausible deniability. Okay, exactly. So when Russia allows it to happen, that Zaporizhia goes up, and then nuclear fallout crosses Russia, and then Mir sends missiles to all of its enemies, or people that it's at least got targeted, they could say, we have plausible deniability because we didn't know. This is just an automatic system. You can't fire back. It was an automatic system. Okay, that's the one thing that y'all need to know. People should be more aware of it. But the other thing is this. So they need more help with refugees. There's going to be a lot more refugees because Russia is hitting all the apartment complexes, trying to run people out of Ukraine and over into Europe. And at this point, they're threatening Europe. But they also need to know that every 13 days, basically, there's a dead man switch on Zaporizhia. And so they're just going to have to do whatever is necessary, even if that means Russia running the plant to get power back to it, so they're not running off of diesel generators. But whatever they do, well, whatever y'all do on that one. But I don't mind if you cut my stuff. I have a gift, okay, and I also get information. Also look on the internet. I am like Elijah. He gave information to his country, and he basically blinded his enemy and then fed them and then sent them back so they were no longer his enemy. He was not in the military. He was an advisor, a spiritual advisor. That is what I am. But I'm for peace for all sides. And I think that needs to be the first goal of everything right now. And we can't have peace if we're all dying of radiation poisoning in however many months it takes to take somebody out, and don't have a food supply that's not radiated, and buildings and everything else. Let's go back to habitation. It's kind of like in the Bible where it says there's a certain time where you need to turn your plowshares into swords. They would take the steel, melt it down, and make it into a sword, the plowshare. And then they would, in the same way that Cain took the metal from the plow and used it to kill Abel. It's basically, you have a weapon that's ready there, but you're using it for peaceful means. But there's also a time that you need to take your swords and turn them back into plowshares. We need to take our swords and turn them back into plowshares. We need to be agrarian. We need to definitely help our farmers more, but we need to farm, not fight. There's got to be a peaceful solution without giving Russia all of Europe, and also without Russia continuing to fight. So they are doing a winter blitz. That's what the build-up's about. Everybody sees that and recognizes that. It's their one last hurrah before they run out of old tanks and weapons. But they got the new ones too. And I'll say this too, and this, you can laugh at this. Here's something funny about the situation, okay? So they do have, in the same way that they were running recon, okay, basically, in case you don't know, I'll tell you this too. The drones that were sent to Poland, they only had one job, and that was to make everything light up. Who connects with who? Who communicates with who? What systems light up when there's an inbound threat? That's called recon. And the airplane was just there to gain all that information and all the sensors that was put on it, probably extra stuff, so that whenever they, I'll say, do attack, they know where all the SAM sites are, and they know where everything's popping. That's all that was. That was a test. Okay? To see what pops off, see what lights up if you send in a threat. Who's talking to who, who's where. So now they've got it all mapped out, just like they were running recon off our coast with their spy ship. knowing where to land. And this is the funny part. So they've got this large submarine that holds tanks in it. Okay, the acronym I'm using for that is the Tank Underwater Relocation Disbursement, because it disperses water. Also known by our Navy as TURD. It's gonna be easy to sink the TURD. So, but I gotta go. I gotta get off this thing. But if you want to block this, go ahead. If not, let it ride. God bless you. I'm gonna keep putting stuff up. I'm out. Peace.